I'm a teacher from Afghanistan. When you hear the name of Afghanistan, my country, I know certain images comes to your mind. And those images are not very positive. For decades now, whenever you are switching on your TV or computer, you're overwhelmed by the tragic news coming from my country. And the stories are systematically negative. War, violence against women, no hope. Violence and suffering has indeed been part of the reality and daily life of all Afghan populations' experience. But today, I come here to share with you a different story. A story of commitment, a story of personal engagement, a story of achievement, and a story of change. This is my story. And this shall be the story of thousands of Afghan men and women, because deep down, we have the same hope, dreams, and expectation like any other people on this planet, a better future for our children and our country. My family is originally coming from a remote and rural central part of Afghanistan. My father was a very humble and modest man. He was a shepherd. Shortly before I was born, he made a decision which was brave and visionary. He decided to leave his region of origin and to take his family to go to a town. He wanted us, his 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls, to go to school. My father was deeply convinced that only this would allow us to extract ourselves from poverty, exclusion, and humiliation. Today, I'm so grateful to my father. Every single day passes, I pay tribute to my father for his vision, and to my mother for her strength to keep the family united and determined in spite of so many difficulties. My father was so convinced that only school would give us a future. When I finished my university, I became a teacher, but only for a few years, because in 1992, the war has started in Kabul. So I couldn't continue anymore my job as a teacher. And I looked for another job. And I joined and found another job. I started to work with the International Committee of the Red Cross in Afghanistan, and later in Bosnia and Herzegovina. While I have learned a lot from those experiences, but deep down, I knew that my destiny is to contribute to a change in my own country. And also, for so many years, I was dreaming, and I was so determined to take and lead the vision of my father a step further by building schools and enabling thousands of boys and girls to go to school and study in a dignified condition. In 2007, I returned to the village of my father. My father had to leave his village because there was no school, and I wanted to build one. This was my way of thanking him. This was my way of honoring him for the choice that he made for me to change my life forever. And this region is a very remote, mountainous, with 3,000-meter altitude. It's not easy to have access because there is no road. And to find a company to construct a school in such a region is a big challenge. Most of the company, they were very reluctant. And I finally found one, and I talked to them. And I told them about my vision, my commitment, and my plan. The gentleman from the company looked at me and he said, "This is very nice, but it's very difficult to build such a school in such a region." And I told the gentleman, it is precisely because it's difficult that we must engage. If I don't engage, if you don't engage, for our country who will engage. And the gentleman from the company looked at me and he said, when I see you as a woman, how determined you are, in this case, me as a man, I should be twice as you determined. Let's go ahead with this project. And we started it. A year later, a school was built. The Ministry of Education, the authority, they came to attend the inauguration ceremony. And he made a speech to the people. He said, 10 years ago, we have received a request to build a school for this region. Years passed, and we brought all these years a long list of excuses how it's not possible to build a school here. And also from this region, there were so many men came, made nice speeches, big promises, but none of them kept their promises or returned here back. But today, a woman surprised all of us, and she built one. And he addressed it to the population, to the parent. He said, dear parent, I'm asking you, please let all of your girls to go to school, because I'm certain there will be many Taibas will be rising from this valley. After that, the parent came, and they thanked me, hundreds of them. And I told them, I'm very grateful, I'm humbled that you are thanking me. But today, I would like to tell you that this is not enough to thank me today. I have a very big wish today from all of you, as a parent, as a community of this region. And I told them, I shared with them my story, which has just happened to me on that morning, on that day, when I was traveling to the village. It was a cold and windy days. In the middle of the mountain, I saw an 8-year-old shepherd girl, and she was crying. And I stopped and I went to her. And I told her why she's crying. She told me that she lost a sheep, and she's so afraid, and she's so much worried how to return to the village. And I told to the parent, today I would like to ask you, all of you, as a parent, I would like that you make sure each single boy and each single girl is going to school. I would like to ask you that you as a parent must make sure that that shepherd girl is coming to school. She deserves something else, something better than what she's doing now. This school had many impacts, and I would like to share with you a few of them. One of the biggest impact was that for the first time, this population, for the first time that started to stop sending their children to go to unforgiving work on the field, and they started to send them to school. And the other impact that I saw it, I was so moved to see all these children to start to find themselves under the roof in a complete transformed condition of schooling, to go to school with a dignified condition. I saw a little girl, she was so proud and sitting, smile in her shy face. She told me, today I'm so happy, I'm so proud. I feel like that I'm part of the world. And I looked at this girl and I said to myself, look at this girl, she's poor, she's modest, but she has ambitious dreams. And the other impact that I was very impressed is that today, from this school, dozens and dozens of boys and girls, they are studying in university today. This experience was so inspiring for me that I have continued to build more schools in different other regions. And I'm so committed to continue building schools in the years to come. What I have just described to you shows how a personal initiative can lead to result. Afghanistan has been at war over 30 years. These years of war, in addition to the poverty, has dispossessed us from the capacity to tell our story. This is important to change this. We do not want to be seen as a victim or vulnerable. we must and will find our own path and assume our responsibility. That's why education is so important. Only education would allow us to overcome poverty and exclusion. And it will give us the strength to build a strong identity and the ability to speak for ourselves and formulate and shape our own vision for the future of our country. My own contribution, in addition to my projects, I would like to show that we women are able to lead ambitious projects and that we are playing an important role in our society and in our country. On the other hand, I would like to give a different image of Afghanistan to the world, a country where many men and women are ready to take responsibility for a better future. Thank you very much.